All right, welcome back to the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. We're sitting down now. One of my favorite guys ever that we've covered, Brandon Mlekus, former Frontenac Raider, current Pittsburgh State safety. They're in the middle of spring ball now. Thanks for being here, man. First off, you guys are in the middle of spring. Just give us an update. How's it going right now? What stood out to you, and how good does it feel to be back out there?
It definitely feels good to be back out there for the spring. Seeing all the guys again, and honestly just getting to play football. We've been working out since January, and it feels good to do something other than lift weights and run sprints. So yeah.
One of my favorite parts about covering the team is the amount of local guys. I know we've had this conversation before. You know, you, Elijah, Bryce, Alex, PJ. There's so many local guys that aren't just there, but they're good football players. I've talked to some of them in the past, and they say there's like an extra pride of being a local guy and playing for Pittsburgh State and kind of representing the four-state community. We talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It does mean a little bit more when you have people that know you and that have supported you through not only your college days, but like your high school and even before that family, friends or whatever that love the Gorillas. They've always loved the Gorillas, and now it even means more for them having someone that they know and that they care about watching on the field. So.
The reason I want to have you out here, I just think about your football journey, and when I started this job it was when you were in high school, and so I've got to see you play in high school, and I've got to see you play in college, and your football journey is really unique. You're recruited to play on defense. You played defense. You play special teams early on, and then you played quarterback for a year, and now you're back on the defensive side. Will you kind of talk about what the journey's been like for you to kind of see both sides of the game in college?
Yeah, I definitely could have never expected it or planned for it to happen, but I'm grateful that it did. It opened up a lot of new experiences for me. It allowed me to meet. You're close as a team, but you get that other side of the whole thing. You get to meet another 50 guys on offense that you don't necessarily spend every day at practice with, and that was a crucial thing, and I feel like I'm a lot closer with those guys too now. And just from a mental aspect of the game, you kind of have a better understanding of what the offense is going to do on a specific third down or what they're trying to accomplish throughout a game, just because you have that mentality a little bit in the back of your head.
Will you take me back to that conversation, before the season when, maybe it was Coach Beck or maybe it was an assistant where they brought up the idea or, told you that, that you're going to be switching sides of the ball and you're going to be playing quarterback?
Yeah, that actually happened right in the off season, right after I think it was 2018 season or something. But they just brought me into the office and they were like, would this be something that would interest you? And I said I'd do anything that would help us. Like if they felt like I could give us a better shot, then I was going to do it. So. That was just kind of one talk, and then spring ball kind of rolled around, and I was on the depth chart at quarterback, and Weimer's was my new coach.
What was it like to, how long did it take you, or did it take you any time at all to kind of get back into that quarterback mindset?
Definitely. It definitely did. Plus, with being in college, it was just a whole new game, and the veer, and never having ran an offense like that, it was definitely a struggle for a good while.
Do you have a favorite? Is defense what you feel more comfortable playing? Do you like that better?
Definitely now, yeah. Now that I've actually gotten to get in a good rhythm on defense, I feel like I like that a lot more.
So you're back on defense now, but I actually got to see you slinging around the other day because Pitt State had their pro day, and I guess the scouts showed up and said, "Who's throwing to our wideouts and our defensive backs?" And you stepped in and threw. What was that like to kind of show up to support you guys, but end up throwing and working?
That was kind of an odd one. It was pretty funny. I walked in and our corners coach came up to me, and the first thing he said was like, "You good to throw today?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. Like, are you sure? Like, you want me?" And then I kind of thought they were joking. And next person came up and asked me, and they're like, "Do you want to throw?" And I was like, "Are you guys being serious? Like, I will do it." And then finally, another 20 minutes later, someone came up to me like, "You better start getting warmed up. We're gonna throw to these guys." And I was like, "Guys, you really sure? Like last time I'm asking." But no, it was good. I'm happy to do it, just to help those guys out, just let them show off their talents.
I want to talk to you about the defense this year because obviously you guys are losing a few big time players. Markel, Dallas, Jordan back there. Talk about some of the guys, the younger guys that you expect to step up and kind of step into those roles on the defensive side.
I feel like we still have quite a bit of depth at safety. We still have Jeffrey Forger. He's played for 3 years now. He's definitely gotten a lot of quality reps. We also have Adam Smith. Adam's my age as well. He's always been there. He kind of got hurt a couple years ago, but I feel like he could step in at any time and play and make plays. We've got Ian Watts, Jared Flood, Braden Gage, those guys have all been here for 3 years. They know the defense well. They're willing to do whatever, and they could all step in and make plays.
I want to ask you, one of the guys that you do lose on the defensive side is Caden Roy, and everybody I've talked to about Caden Roy, said, he's a pretty intense guy, but even in the most intense situations, he always has a sense of humor, and people always say, he's a special guy to play with. What was your experience like with him, and will you talk about your relationship with him?
Yeah, K-Roy is actually one of my closer friends. I'm grateful for the chance to play with him, and it was great times being out there. Like you said, we'd be in intense situations and we'd all be yelling and screaming, and he would just crack a joke or something on the field or just make fun of something on the field, and everyone would just kind of loosen back up and get back to just playing and having fun. But yeah, he definitely was a special player, and it was fun to play with him, have the chance to.
We're going to take it a few years back now. Obviously, I mentioned, you're a Frontenac guy, former 4A Division II State Player of the Year, two-time All-State. How much do you feel like playing at Frontenac kind of helped you, now that you've been in the college game for a few years, how much do you feel like playing there kind of helped prepare you for Pittsburgh State?
It definitely, playing for Coach Smith did. Just the amount of knowledge, the stuff that he could tell us throughout the season, and just having his brain to pick through, and what he went through and the kind of things that he learned he kind of just pushed that onto us, and that definitely helped a lot because he's a really good guy, really smart coach. So
what was it like playing for him? Because I see him all the time, outside of football, and he's one of the nicest guys. But then you're there on the sideline on Friday nights, and he he gets pretty intense, and so it's kind of like night and day. What was it like playing for him? Because obviously he's one of the best we have in the area. He's smart, but intense at the same time.
Yeah, he was. You had to know him well to be able to push his buttons the right way. Because if you got him at the wrong time, it wasn't going to be pretty. But no, he definitely was. He was a good coach, and he understood the game well, but he was a really good coach for us, just as a mentor and as someone you could joke around with and be around and not have to be all football, all serious. But he also knew when the time came that it was time to strap it up and be intense and be focused. But yeah.
You guys are coming off an 8-3 season. You're heading into your senior year. Will you just talk about some of your goals for this year, both as an individual, and as a team, and kind of how you want to go out in your Pittsburgh State career?
As a team, I definitely feel like we're chasing that ring. We want to start off with a conference championship, and then ultimately that'll get us into the playoffs. And then we want to accomplish the goal of a national championship. That's a lofty goal, and we've been chasing it since I've been here, but I feel like we still have the pieces, and we just got to keep pushing ourselves. Individually, I just want to be better than I was last year, learn from my mistakes, and make some of the plays that I was very close to making that I think I could make.
I mentioned you guys are right in the middle of spring ball now, and spring ball, I go out, it's a lot of early mornings, and you're out there pretty early, and I know spring ball can be tough sometimes, but my favorite part of showing up to spring ball is, seeing some of the offensive, defensive work, seeing some of the 11-on-11 stuff, and the trash talk is one of my favorite parts of the spring. We talk about that and how you kind of balance, trash talking offensive and defensive, but, at the same time, being a team.
Yeah, it definitely gets competitive out there in the spring. I mean, you've got both sides of the ball. You've got a lot of talented guys going at it, and everyone wants to win just for that competitive advantage of just saying, oh, it's the defense's turn today or the offense's turn today. And I would think playing against our guys, we go against obviously one of the better teams in the conference, and I think that makes us a lot better, and it pushes us to that point of trash talk and all the games and all that. But at the end of the day, I think we're close enough that once it's done, it's done. We can leave it there and move on.
All right, man. That is Brandon Mlekus, Pittsburgh State safety. You can check him. You can check the Gorillas out. Their annual spring game. It's on a Friday this year, April 19th. Yeah. I love that because I can actually be there. Brandon, I appreciate you coming out here.
Sir.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.